headlines Saturday.
Flu season starting early this winter with a strain that tends to make people more sick. Right now, health officials are forecasting a very busy flu season overall. 47 states reporting widespread activity. The city of Boston declaring a public health emergency because of the flu. Some schools in Oklahoma closing down today to try to stop the illness from spreading. They've canceled classes after nearly 25% of the students became sick. Let's talk about it with Dr. Kevin Campbell. He's based in Raleigh, North Carolina. Dr. Campbell, the flu started earlier this season, as I understand it. Is that why we're seeing such a bad outbreak?
Absolutely. There's really two reasons we see bad outbreaks. One is the early onset of the flu season, and the second reason is that we have a particularly virulent or severe strain of flu that we are seeing this year as well.
But I heard the CDC saying that the vaccine that's out is a pretty good match for the strain that's out.
Fortunately, it is a very good match for the strain that's out this year. It just happens to be that the folks who aren't getting the flu shot that get this disease can be quite severe and have some potentially life-threatening complications.
There has been so much coverage of it. I understand there are vaccine shortages in some places because people are running out to get the vaccine, which is probably a good thing. But what about where you are?
So we do have some shortages of the vaccine, but if you go to enough places, they are available. You may not be able to get away with one-stop shopping, but they're out there. We have vaccinated lots and lots of people, and we continue to encourage folks to get vaccinated now.
So it's not too late?
Absolutely not. Once you receive the vaccine, your immune system can work to develop antibodies to the virus as quickly as 7 to 10 days.
All right, I know that, well, there are 20 children who have actually been killed nationwide this year by the flu. That seems like an unusually high number, especially because kids generally aren't that susceptible, are they?
Well, what we know is there's two groups of people who are very susceptible to complications of flu. One is the elderly, and two is children under the age of 5. And the reason for that is their immune systems are not quite as developed under the age 5 as an adult's immune system, and the elderly typically have trouble with the immune system not being as responsive as it once were.
I'm curious about one thing. We were looking at the map earlier, and maybe we can put it back up here in just a second. But yeah, there you have Mississippi, California, and Hawaii as the only states that are not reporting major outbreaks. Why is that? I mean, why does one state get hit hard and the neighboring state not so much?
Sometimes that's difficult to predict. This virus is transmitted person to person, as we all know, and often some areas may not be reporting it as accurately as others. Folks may not be coming to the doctor, may be treating this at home. It's difficult to predict. I suspect that all states are having cases, maybe not at the same levels that we're seeing in Boston and Chicago and some of the other metropolitan areas.
All right, so wash the hands and get a flu shot. That's your advice. Dr. Kevin Campbell, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Sounds easy enough, right?
Sure.
Gotta make sure you do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. Well, another big health story that really caught our attention, the headlines about a major change in a sleep aid.